Now then, people, and welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. And it is time for your second video of the day. We keep moving, we keep putting in work, and you keep watching. So thank you so much. Before we get into the video, like it, subscribe, get your comments in, and of course hit that notification bell so you do not miss the next video. This one we're going to be speaking about PSV talented winger Cody Gakpo. Now listen, there are a number of analysts, a number of Leeds United fans. We are so lucky as a fan base to have these people that watch this stuff regularly, work for companies like Opta, etc., write articles about players from across the continent. Because I don't watch the Eredivisie. I don't know an awful lot about Cody Gakpo. But all you need to do is put the feelers out there, do a bit of research, and you can see that this kid is special. And he is being lined up as a potential replacement for Raphinha. And it is understood that Leeds United will have no trouble in paying for the Netherlands international, who is valued at around 25.8 million by PSV. And that's what we were discussing in the last video. You don't have to spend big bucks to get the players that are emerging talents. And then what do? You move them on for a price until you get to a point where you can say, we're happy now, we're contending for Europe, we're going to keep our best players. And if you want to pay for them, you're going to have to pay a massive amount. You know, it's all about recruitment. Leicester's recruitment model is fantastic, and there is a number of players we'll be discussing later that Leicester are also linked to that Leeds United want. This is what I mean. We're swimming in them circles now. You know, we are established. You could argue doing that 2 years, it's a good standpoint. We're now establishing ourselves in the Premier League, and that means we're going up against some of the other big teams in the Premier League. And look, Cody Gakpo has been in impressive form for PSV last season. He scored 21 goals and supplied 15 assists in 46 appearances across all competitions for the Dutch club. He has European experience, and he grabbed the winner for PSV Eindhoven as they came from behind to beat Ajax in the Dutch Cup final. He's even worn the captain's armband at the fresh age of just 23. He's been capped 7 times by the Netherlands national team. He's a Champions League ready player. This is what people are telling me, yeah? And he would be the perfect Raphinha replacement. The only issue, the only sticking point is that he's a left winger and not a right winger. But after speaking with people and also taking an article written by Josh Hobbs that I am going to put the link to the description in this video so you can check it out to get some more meat on the bones, that it is worth noting that Gakpo has experience playing in the 4-2-2, playing under Roger Schmidt at PSV, another ex-Red Bull guy. He played under Schmidt, and he has a lot of the same philosophies and principles as Jesse Marsch, right? So although he's primarily a left winger, he can play on the right side and also as a striker. And you will notice, Raphinha, a number of the players that we're being linked with at the minute have this versatility trait. You know, they can play a number of positions. They're not just, you know, pigeonholed in one box. And it's clear that the club are looking at that so that they can play a number of positions. And as I say, just on the Josh Hobbs article, these are some of the things he said. He said, look, Gakpo has been impressing in the division now for a few seasons, and at 23 is at the perfect age to tempt clubs in top leagues to make a move. He is a creator, a goal scorer, shown by his extremely high rankings for expected goals and expected assists. He also has a habit of arriving unmarked at the back post to score tap-ins. We've seen that a lot, actually, under Bielsa. If I think back to a lot of Jack Harrison's goals, Alioski's goals, coming in, arriving at that back post free as a bird, and then just banging it in the back of the net, you know. This accounts for his very high XG, but as well as that, his powerful running style and quick feet make him a nightmare for defenders to deal with when he drives inside from the wing. And look, again, I'll profess I haven't seen Cody Gakpo. I've seen his YouTube highlights, of course, but I could look good in YouTube highlights, and I can't hardly do any kick-ups, you know what I mean? I've got one trick to my locker, but that's for another day. But what I'm saying is, like, all you have to do is look at people out there who sample the amount of football, people who work in the game. You know, we're going to speak about a certain player in the next video, and I have a friend who works at Opta, and he's watching him week in, week out for work, and some of the stuff he's been saying about him. This is what I'm saying. You don't need to have had to watch the player in 2022. You know, of course, your eye gives you the eye test. But what I'm saying is, I'm excited by Cody Gakpo. And the reason that I am is because all I have to do is look at people out there and they're gushing over this kid, you know, saying, wow, this would be some signing, and a signing that they didn't believe Leeds United would make, you know. So as my good friend at One Leeds, Connor, was saying, I checked his video out earlier, he believed Leeds United would make that big marquee signing. And that doesn't necessarily mean in terms of transfer value, but in terms of the player, of what we're going to get, you know. It's exciting times, and this for me has been the icing on top of the cake of the transfer window thus far, because Leeds United are making moves, not just for no marks, but people who are, you know, on that cusp of big things, because that's where we have to accept where we are as a fan base as well. This is the argument we were having yesterday. You have to accept where you are as a fan base and look at it and say, okay, we're going to have to take these chances on emerging talents and hope that they come good. We spoke about the Leicester model. You know, they brought in Bubakai Samari and Patson Daka. Okay, it hasn't worked out up until this point, but it will, and they will come good, you know, and then they'll have players there that they can sell on for X amount. You know, they bought in Raphinha for 30 million. I could imagine if Leeds United did that, there'd be a lot of fans that'd be fuming. When Raphinha leaves, you know, and I think he'll go Real Madrid, somewhere like that, my man's going to be going for about 80 million. This is how you have to operate. There's no point splurging big money on big names if you can do it like this, for me, in my opinion, because all you have to do is strip it back and look at our last three big signings: Dan James, Rodrigo, Firpo. That tells you all you need to know. The players that were cheap and that we didn't know much about, you know, the likes of Strout, Raphinha and Meslier, they're the jewels in our crown now. They're the ones we look at and say, wow, these are going to be amazing. They're going to go for top whack if indeed we need to sell them at all. So this is how the club should operate, and it really, really excites me. And another player that excites me is CDK. We're going to be speaking about him in the third video that we'll be dropping today. So make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and of course hit that notification bell. And I'll see you in a couple of hours, people. Peace.